probably Well, hi there. Let me introduce myself. My name is George Jenkins, and I just made that name up right now, right here, right now on the spot. Now, I just want to welcome you to the Flood Youth live stream. I got to tell you some real nice things. First, though, I want to read you guys a little bit from Walter the Farting Dog. How do y'all feel about that? Feeling good? Good. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's read this little book together just to start our night off with a nice little get you together. All right. Now Betty and Billy, they brought Walter home from the dog pound. Nobody wanted him, said Billy, but we love him, said Betty. Well, he smells awful, the mother said. I think you'd better give him a bath. Now, you see, this is Mother. Mother walked in and said, he still smells awful. And that's when they got the first clue. The telltale bubbles in the water. He's probably just a little nervous, said Mother. Hopefully. His stomach must be upset. But Walter's stomach wasn't upset. Walter's stomach was fine. He felt perfectly normal. He just farted a lot. You know how that is. You know, when you get home, you get a little... All right, let's keep it going. Now, look at this wonderful illustration. He did it when he bathed. He did it when he played with Betty and Billy. He did it when he walked around the house. He did it in the dining room. He did it in the kitchen. He did it in his sleep. Oh, you know how that is when you get a little in your sleep. All right, just a little relatable action. All right, let's keep going. The dog farts morning, noon, and night, said Father. You can't help it, Daddy, said Betty and Billy. They didn't mind the Walter's farts. Now, what if he farts, Billy said to Betty when they were alone in the room with Walter. Betty agreed. Walter agreed too. So he sat there looking innocently around farting. Take him to the vet, said Father. He's got a problem, a gastric problem. Farting, said the vet, or rectal flatulence, as we said in the medical profession, and prescribed a change in diet for Walter. Been eating too many of them flatulent pancake-roonies. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Amen. Hallelujah. All right. Now, they gave Walter every kind of dog food. He farted. They tried him on cat food. They gave him hot dogs, hamburgers, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. He farted. Now, they gave him fried chicken. They gave him rabbit food. They gave him a vegetarian diet. Ooh, no thank you. But no matter what the dog eats, he turns it into farts, roared the father. Walter got the blame for everybody else's farts too. If Uncle Irv let one slip, he just went out and stood near Walter. Then all he had to say was, Walter! You hate that discrimination, don't you? And everyone would just look at poor Walter. Now, he said, he has to go back to the pound, said Father. No, Daddy, please, begged Betty and Billy. Don't send Walter away. He goes tomorrow, said Father. They pleaded, and Walter farted. It was all over. That night, Betty and Billy cried in their beds, and Walter looked at them so unhappily. Oh, Walter, said Betty, we've got to stop farting. We've got to get you to stop farting, because Father's going to send you back to the pound tomorrow, said Billy. That's what he said. Look at them. They're crying. There's the cat, too. He doesn't like the farts, but he puts up with it. Why can't Daddy? Why can't Daddy? Walter knew how serious the situation was. He'd never seen Billy and Betty again. I can say words. He resolved to hold in his farts forever. When Betty and Billy fell asleep, he walked down to the kitchen to see if there was anything around to eat. He managed to open the cupboard, and with his nose, he found a 25-pound bag of low-fart dog biscuits the vet had prescribed for him, which made him fart even more. How does that even happen? Even though he knew they made him fart more, he couldn't resist. He ate the entire bag. Very tasty, said Walter to himself. Very tasty indeed. And then he went and laid down on the sofa. A gigantic gas bubble began to build inside him. This is going to be trouble, he said to himself nervously. He was afraid of what might happen if he let it go. He thought maybe the house would explode, so he kept it in. It was easy, in fact, but it was torture. But he had resolved to never fart again. His future depended on it, and as he lay there with his tail wrapped tightly between his legs, he heard a noise at the window. What could the noise be? He watched it open slowly. a pair of burglars came through. They dropped silently into the kitchen. "Watch out for the dog," said one of the burglars. "He won't bite," said the other. "He's a wimp." Calling Walter a wimp. Walter might have bitten them, except it was so filled with gas he couldn't even move. They tied a rag around his snout so he couldn't bark. "Okay," whispered the first burglar. "Let's clear this place out." "Oh, it's going to get cleared out, don't you bet." They took everything they could get their hands on. Walter wanted to stop them, but he was having unbearable gas pains. He rolled in on his back, waved his paws in the air. He gnashed his teeth. "We've got it all," said the second burglar. "Let's go." Woo! And that's when Walter let it fly. It was the worst fart of his life. It made a tremendous noise and shot him across the room. A hideous cloud filled the air. The burglars clutched their throats, unable to breathe. With tears in their eyes, they raced for the window. They tried to grab their bag with all their valuables in it, but the arms were too weak. Let's get out of here," they said. They jumped out the window, ran up the block, choking and gasping for air, still blinded by Falter's fart attack. They stepped into the headlights of an approaching police car. "Hold it right there," said the policeman. When father and mother came down in the morning, they saw the open window, and they saw the bag with all their valuables in it, and Walter was sitting beside it. It still had the rag tied around his snout. You'd have to say he looked heroic. "He saved the silverware," mother cried. "He saved the VCR," cried the father. "Good dog, Walter. You're our dog even if you do fart all the time." Oh, look at this happy family. Happy, gassy family. It really chokes a brother up. And so the family learned to live with Walter, the hero dog. And that's the end of our tale. All right, I didn't mean to start on such an emotional note. But anyway, speaking of emotions, we got our friends coming up, Michael and Mookie. I'm George Germany. I forget what I said when my name was, to be honest with you. George Gemini, let's say that. We got Mookie and Michael coming up. They're going to play a little game with y'all. And I hope y'all enjoy. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks, George Jenkins, Gemini, whatever.
Yeah,
Hey!
I have no idea what that was. That's crazy.
It was interesting. It was something. Hey, so Michael Squared is here. For those of you guys that don't know my real name. And so we're going to play a little game. Here's what I would encourage all of you to do is play along with us in the quiet of your own home. We are doing an emotional interview, okay? So here's how this is going to work. I am bringing over the trusty little, this is what we call the wheel of emotions right here, which might, sometimes be exactly what we're feeling in this season. You know, a lot of emotions.
You don't know. Or you do. Maybe.
You do, but yeah. So here's what's going to happen. So I'm going to ask Michael a random question, and he has not seen these questions.
Okay? I haven't. I asked him, like, "Oh, what are they going to be?" And he's like, "Nah."
I'm like, "Nah, bro. It's
surprise.
Spontaneous, impromptu." Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to ask, we're going to spin the wheel, and he's going to have to respond to whatever question I ask using this emotion. Now, how you can participate is you can respond, obviously, in the chat. It's kind of hard to display emotions in chat, which is why texting is such a horrible thing. I've been told I need to throw the mic on, so here we go. Yep, there we go, people. We had to switch mics. So anyway, but what you can do is you can respond in the chat, or you could actually say them out loud like we're in the room, and it'll give you a chance. It'll be therapeutic. You can actually get all these emotions out in the quietness of your own home, and you can respond to the questions as Michael's responding to them. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, he says. Okay, I got to get the mic back on there because for some reason we only have 2 mics in this place. So, okay, so here we go. Michael, are you ready? Are you ready for the emotions?
Yeah, who's to say?
Who's to say? I don't know. We'll figure this out. Here we go. I got my mic on. I think it's working. Okay, sounds good. Let me just double check, make sure it's on. Michael is getting pumped. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first emotion, we're going to spin it around a little bit right here. Let's see what kind of emotions we got in here, people. All right, stopping. Kid-like. Okay, so here we go. He's going to respond to this question very kid-like, okay? How would you solve the problems on Mars? How would you do that?
Well, first, I think I would like, you know,
Uh-huh.
I put air on it first.
It's that simple right there. He did a beautiful job. He would figure out, much like a 5-year-old would answer.
I was like,
Okay,
how?
that's kind of difficult. All right.
Not my forte.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Spin around, spin around, spin around, spin around. Let's see where it lands this time. What emotion are we going to get? Oh, sassy! Sassy, everyone. He's actually really good at this. Okay,
Yeah.
so here we go. The
Am
question
I?
is, what do you think of garden gnomes?
I don't know. What do you think of garden gnomes?
I mean, they're kind of cute. What do you think of them?
I don't know. Just a bunch of moochers.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
it.
I don't see the point of asking me this question.
Whoa, calm your sass down. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, next emotion. We're firing through these people. Remember, you can respond using your emotions as well. Okay, here we go. Crying. Okay, crying. It might not. It's kind of tied to emotions, but it works. Okay. Tell me, why? Okay, you've been given an elephant. You can't give it or sell it.
Been given a what?
You can't give it away or sell it. What would
Okay.
you do with the elephant?
Oh, an elephant.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess I just feed him until he grew up to be like a strong, functional, healthy adult.
You seem like this is
And then
really bothering you.
I'd like let him out into the world with his like little tie and briefcase to go find a real job and hopefully make a 6-figure income and maybe take care of me. I don't know.
All right.
But
I
if
like
that could happen, I think I could say I did okay.
I can't handle these emotions. Okay, here we go. Next question.
Almost started crying.
I saw it. You had a little tear in your eye right there. All right. Frustrated. He's actually he is so good at this one. Okay. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be, and why?
I don't know, man. Trees are out there in the dirt, and I like cleaning and stuff, and just, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of. What kind of tree?
I don't know. A ficus. I don't.
A ficus. Okay.
Leave me alone.
Okay. All right. Moving. Very good. See? Therapeutic. If you are not trying this at home,
Yeah.
you're missing out, okay?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I got really itchy.
Okay, you already got frustrated. Let's try something different. Here. And silly. Goofy. Silly.
I don't know if I know what silly is.
You definitely know what silly is. Okay, here we go. All right. Are you a hunter or a gatherer? Tell us. Are you a hunter or a gatherer?
Whichever one. I don't know. Look what I can do. Probably a gatherer.
Why would you be a gatherer?
Because, you know, less work.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right, here we go. A couple more. We're going to do a couple more emotions here. And nope, we did that one. We don't want to see him crying again. I don't want to see him crying again for sure.
You felt too much.
Oh, spaz. Okay, you're going to spaz.
Cool.
Spaz out. Okay, here we go. How would you prove that Germans are the tallest people in the world?
I don't know. It's like, you know, because they're like up there and I'm like down there and it's like, what the and then it's like, whoa. And then it's like, dude. And it's like, okay. I get it. You're tall. But like, why you gotta be so tall? You know, I never actually understood that. Yeah. I don't mean to go on a tangent, but can we spend the next 15 minutes talking about how tall Germans actually are?
No, not yet. Okay, here we go. Wheel of Emotions. That was pretty good. That was solid. Okay, here we go. Let's go with Snooty.
Oh,
okay.
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. All right. Does life fascinate you? Tell us.
Does life fascinate me?
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of seems boring nowadays, you know, when you've got all the money that in the world under your belt. It's just, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of like, whatever, I don't need.
Yeah, whatever.
How dare you hit me?
Yeah.
That was actually pretty snooty.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. One more. Here we go. This is. Let's see what lands. Nope. Crying. What? Why does it keep landing on crying?
It wants me to cry.
People, the universe wants you to cry right now. Okay, here we go. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Anger. Anger. Ooh, sorry. Okay, tell me. Tell all of us. How would you move Mount Fuji in Japan? How would you move it?
I'll tell that pile of rocks to just get the crap out of here.
That simple? What did Mount Fuji ever do to you?
Made its water too expensive.
I think that's Fiji, but.
Oh, yeah. Well,
there you go. Hey, that's been the Wheel of Emotions. Make sure you give some love online for Michael for joining us. I'm going to move this off this side. But hey, once again, this can be, make yourself a Wheel of Emotions, people, and get your emotions out. Right now, we all need to get our emotions out in this season because let's be honest, we got all the feels right now, and we need to, it's therapeutic. Get it out. So, all right, I'm going to invite up Josiah and Judah, and they're going to compete against each other in a little challenge. And here they are. Give it up for them. Woo!
Woo! All right. Let me just say, I have no idea. I have not the slightest idea who that imposter was earlier. Imposter. George Jenkins. I'm finding you, and I'm filing a police report. To be honest with you, I don't want your services anywhere near me. All right. Me and Josiah, we're about to play this new game. Where it's pretty simple. Josiah's just getting mic'd up for a second. We got these contraptions all glued together, and it's very simple. We have a ping pong ball on the top, and we're gonna try to catch them just like that. I'm destroying this game very simply. Let's go to 5 actually.
All right, hey, so real quick,
You wanna
this is
do
something that
5?
you guys can easily make at home.
Easy.
It's literally a cup, a CD, 1 liter bottle. You can get a water bottle, you can get a soda bottle, whatever you want. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the ping pong ball on the top. You gotta hold it by the CD with one hand, and you're gonna have to do is flip and land it right in the cup. You have to. It's literally called flip cup. Flip cup.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get going. We're gonna see who can get to the fastest to get 3 in the cup, and we're gonna see who wins. All
Let's
right,
do
so
it.
here we go. Ready, set, go.
Ah! 1. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 2. Ah! 3. I'm gonna keep going for points. Style points. Style points. Nope. Style points. Style points.
1.
Oh. 4. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got one. I got one.
He just got
I got
his
one.
first
I got one. Okay.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
2,
I got 4.
3.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that one is in.
Oh my gosh. Is this the easiest game and we both suck at it? Yes.
Oh, 4.
That was not 4.
That was 4. That's,
All right, that's 5.
If you want to go back, 6, 7,
6.
8,
7. 8.
9, 10.
We were not going to 10 though. We were going to 3, and I made it to 3.
I mean, I
first.
just started getting a rhythm, but I did start getting the rhythm.
Yeah,
a
you
little
got
later,
into
but-
rhythm.
All right, hey, so like I said, this is simple to make at home. It just takes 1 liter hot glue gun. That's what I did to glue these together. Some of you guys might be seeing this on Saturday. You guys are gonna be there, so I'm gonna soon invite Mookie up. But like I said, it's just something that's easy to do at home. It's fun to make. You can challenge your family, challenge your siblings on who could be the better cup flipper. Just because that is what you're doing. So you just, like I said, put the ping pong ball. You're not supposed to launch it. You're supposed to just flip, catch it in the cup. So I'm gonna invite Mookie on up, and he's gonna be wrapping up our live stream. I love seeing y'all. Hope you guys are having a good time.
Boom. Hey, so yeah, like Josiah said, middle schoolers would love for you guys to join us Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Make sure you RSVP the first 10, which we are so close. The first 10 get a chance to win a prize that night. So it's going to be super fun. So 7 o'clock this coming Saturday, go to floodyouth.com, sign up. Hey, and bring some friends. Bring some friends, all right? Invite them. Come join. All right, so hey, as we wrap up tonight, before we move on over to Zoom, first of all, I want to encourage you guys to join us on the Zoom call. One of my dear friends, Heather McClary, is going to be joining us. We're going to be interviewing her and just hearing about what God's been doing in her life recently. And Heather used to be one of our longtime youth leaders. She was around for about 4 or 5 years, my first 4 or 5 years here. And then she went and worked at Hume Lake, which is a Christian camp up in Central California, NorCal. And she's back. She's back in San Diego, which is super exciting. And so I invited her to come join us on Zoom. So she's going to be on there. So, hey, what I wanted to just mention real quick before we wrap up is if you haven't checked out our YouTube feed in a while, I want to encourage you guys to go on YouTube. I posted a video earlier this week. We've been looking at different interactions that Jesus had with people. And so last week talked about Nicodemus, and this week I talked about Jesus and his interaction with the thieves when he was being crucified on the cross. The man is literally in the face of death, and yet he continues to have compassion upon those not only who were there for mourning and were sickened by this and just like dumbfounded at what was happening, but also those who were mocking him and making fun of him as he was dying. And so the reason why I bring that up is because what's most important, what I've found to be most important in my journey with Christ, or really anything in life, is the importance of conviction. Making sure that you have convictions about things. Because here's the deal. If you aren't convicted by something, then really it's not that important in your life. Ultimately, it's our convictions are the things that drive us. They're the things that get us out of bed. They're the things that motivate us. They're the things that we spend time forming our worldview about. It influences how we treat other people, how we see other people. And so if you don't have personal conviction about anything, it's going to be hard for you to do it. But specifically what I want to mention is just our faith. If your faith is not built on a personal conviction that Jesus is who he said he was, right? That he's God incarnate, that he was God here amongst us, that he showed us what it meant to live life, to treat other people. He reminded us how much God loves each and every one of us. If we're not personally convicted by that, if that doesn't inform our faith, then really in difficult times like this, our faith just crumbles. And so for a lot of us, I think right now, there's some of us that we've been able to find a lot of life in this season because our faith is based more on personal conviction. I think for some of us, a lot of us, our faith has been rocked because maybe our faith has been based on a lot of other things. You know, it's my parents' faith, it's my youth leader's faith, it's just something I like to do on Thursday nights or Sundays or whatever. But the reality is, if it's not based on personal conviction, then a lot of times your faith just crumbles. And so I just want to encourage you guys is to let your personal convictions be informed. Like, don't just have, oh, I'm convicted by that because somebody told me that. Like, no, you have to do the homework yourself. And so the reason why we're always talking about the importance of opening up scripture, the reason why we're always talking about the importance of praying and wrestling with your faith and forming what is your faith is because that helps shape your convictions. If you don't spend time doing something, it's hard to form a conviction off of that. So just want to encourage you guys, challenge that, go back, watch the YouTube video, Jesus and the Thieves. And then the other thing I'll say just about that really quickly, because I feel like this just needs to be said. Earlier this week, another African-American man by the name of George Floyd lost his life at the hands of a police officer. And obviously the situation is a lot more complicated. I'm not here to make a political statement by any means. But the reality is, going back to the personal conviction piece, the reason why it's so important for us to have conviction is because, once again, it drives our thinking. It drives how we interact with people. In the case of George Floyd this past week, personal conviction, do we have conviction that things need to change? That at the end of the day, all people, regardless of their skin color, their nationality, their belief system, do they have equal value? Is each and every person, every man and woman, are they valuable? And I think at the end of the day, many times we allow our convictions to be skewed rather than informed. And why I will always consistently go back to the fact of Jesus's words, where it talks about loving your neighbor as you love yourself. He doesn't say love your neighbor who looks like you. He doesn't say love your neighbor who believes the same way as you. He says love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's a conviction that I want to get behind. And I want to encourage all you guys to do that as well. Continue to let your convictions be formed, not by the media or by news, but let it be informed by the words of Jesus himself. Because I believe, truthfully, the words that he has for us, the life that he lived, is the best conviction that we should allow to drive our lives. So, love you guys.
didn't mean to end on a heavy note, but just wanted to share that from the bottom of my heart. I think sometimes we get up here and we do a lot of fun things, and we miss the point of even why we gather sometimes. So may the Lord bless you, may he keep you, may he shine his face upon you. I hope to see you over here at Zoom, 7 o'clock, just a couple of minutes. Middle schoolers join us Saturday night at 7. Hey, until next time, y'all are beautiful. Love y'all. See you soon.